Jaden, just as we were coming online, Jaden is like, I'm generating a song right now because Jaden, Google is having a week. Oh my gosh. I feel like after Anthropic has owned the headlines and then OpenAI burst in for a little bit with Codex, but Anthropic has been owning the headlines, right? I think we can agree. And then all of a sudden, Gemini just came out of the rafters and like suplexed everybody with a few things that I want to talk about. And guys, again, just to sort of like pull back the curtain, I thought we were talking about like Gemini 3.1 Pro and this other thing that I've been exploring, which is called, what's it called? Oh, Pomelli, which is this photo shoot thing, which is like super cool. And then Jaden was pointing out that they also have Lyria 3. So again, like we have like a countdown to like, as we're kind of going to come on and we do like research before, but right as we were pulling on, Jaden's like, okay, I got a song going right now, just as we started. Anyway, Jaden, this is huge news out of Google. What are you seeing?
Okay, so let's save the Pomelli for second because I think that one's a really interesting one. The first one that I have already been talking about and experimenting with a ton is, so we know Gemini 3.1 came out Pro, and that is a big upgrade. It's crushing the benchmarks. I mean, I think the thing that most people are talking about with this is that on humanity's last exam, compared to Gemini 3 Pro to Gemini 3.1 Pro, it goes from 37.5% to 44.4%. So it's a big jump. I mean, we're like, it's more than 5%. It's getting close to 10%. I'm excited about that. This is one of like the most challenging AI benchmarks. And so I know like we don't put too much stock in benchmarks, but this one I do keep an eye on. So I'm excited about that. And for reference, GPT 5.2 got 34% on it. So like 10 points higher than GPT 5.2. Really nice. Opus is at 40. And so Opus was actually beating. Opus was the winner until Gemini just came out with this latest thing. Now, the one thing that I want to say really quick is I just really appreciate the naming convention. It seems like we've settled on a same naming convention. We're going Gemini 3, Gemini 3.1, GPT 5, GPT 5.1, 5.2. Like, thank you for just a very incremental, small updates. And I think the biggest thing that we're seeing here is it's like the entire model isn't necessarily like a completely changed model a lot of times when they do these like incremental updates. It's the same like kind of Gemini 3 model theoretically, like technically, but they've added a ton of different tools, features, and things that make it smarter. So to a user, all of a sudden this thing has a better tone and it's got better features. And, for example, with GPT 5.2 in their latest update, I ask it math questions now and it pulls up a literal calculator inside of ChatGPT. It calculates my questions for me. I can go edit and change like the literal embedded calculator. Those are the types of tools and features that like make the response feel so much better. So I'm excited. I've been playing around with Gemini 3.1 Pro. It's doing a lot better. It's crushing on the benchmarks. They're officially the #1 AI model as far as, giving the best results right now. How long will that last? Because we're kind of in a perpetual cycle of everyone beating out everyone else. But I think just as a baseline, we'll talk about these cool features and tools and toys that they've come out with this week. But as a baseline, the new Gemini 3.1 is the best and they're really crushing it there.
They're on a roll, and I mean, and I just haven't seen them. And this is, you kind of expect it right before I/O, but I/O isn't until May, right? Something like that, right? So it's just sort of a strange week for everything to drop. This is the crazy thing about AI, guys, right? Like that, it's not like you see anything coming. And to Jaden's point about the calculator inside, was it OpenAI that where the calculator is now? Yeah. So I'm finding that stuff too. I can't tell you guys how often, as I bounce back and forth between models, I find that I'm like, what is this new thing? Like they don't even announce half of the stuff they're doing. It's amazing. Claude is the same way. Chat is the same way. Gemini is the same way. By the way, quick plug here. If you guys do bounce around models like I do all the time, this is your place, aibox.ai. You got to check this out. My favorite feature about this is actually kind of like bouncing between the models, and you pay. Jaden can update on us on the pricing. Like I know it is a $19 a month pricing, but it's also workflows. It's also like you build your own tools. There's a marketplace there, everything like that. But I spend literally hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Jaden, 2 seconds. The pricing on it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the flow here, but
what was that?
What's the price? Tell us the pricing.
The pricing on it. Sorry. It is $8.99. We just dropped a new tier, and guys, listen. Okay, I'm not trying to pitch this on the show right now. I literally just spent the last 3 weeks painstakingly by hand, personally myself, redesigning the entire platform. Every single speck of UI and element that you see on here is handcrafted. Mostly I use Lovable for all the designs, but trust me, I yelled at Lovable a lot for 3 weeks to make this
It looks
perfect and
amazing.
beautiful.
It
So
looks amazing.
you guys wanna try it
The
out.
new guys, the new artisanal AI box.ai. Check it out. Yeah, but what you're saying about Gemini is critical because Gemini more than any other model. So no, I use Gemini a ton, right? I probably use Anthropic still the most. But Gemini, I absolutely love. I'm obsessed with it. The integration with Gemini, the way gems work, deep research on Gemini, I find to be the best deep research out of anybody. That's just my opinion on it. And this is where 3.1 shines. It's not about whether people are using the app. That model of like, hey, let's count how many people are using the app went way out the window to me when Meta counted 600 million people just because they're opening like WhatsApp or Instagram. Though I just don't care about that. I mean, it matters for OpenAI because that's all they have. They don't have cloud service providers. They don't have a work suite. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't have, so it matters for OpenAI. I don't think it matters for anybody else. And it sure doesn't matter for, and not even Anthropic, which like is just a coding machine, right? It matters for Gemini. And here's what matters about how we use Gemini and how we kind of like benchmark this. Of course, the benchmarks are crazy these days, but more importantly, you just got a smarter model inside Gemini, which is inside Gmail and inside all your suite of tools, and also some of the toys that we're going to be talking about now. So that's the exciting part to me.
Yep, 100%. Okay, let's talk about some of the big drops that they had this week. The first one we have to cover is their new music generator Lyria. And I'm going to say this as someone with my background is I have been putting music on Spotify since I was in college. It's kind of my like side hobby I've just been doing for years and years, and I make like thousands of dollars in like a month in royalties from this random music. I have like relaxing music to help your cat fall asleep. Like, trust me, I have done everything over the last, I don't know, like 8 years, basically. It's my weekend project. It's fun. By the way, I get 20 million downloads a year on my music that I.
No, come on, wait.
And a big chunk of that's AI generated. Even way before ChatGPT, like 8 years ago, there was AI music generators, and I was like making symphony music and like online.
20 million, Jaeden?
20 million. I get more people listening to my music than my podcast, if I'm being honest. So,
Done. All right, keep on going. What's your thought on this new generator?
So that's the context in the background. And I will say, number one, this music generator is good. And I'm actually going to play you a song. This is the first time I or Connor have ever heard this song. So I have actually no idea what we're all in for a surprise here. But I'll tell you what I did to make this song, because it's really fun that they put a music generator inside of Gemini. You can work with it in a chat format that I haven't seen any other music generators work. I'll tell you some of the drawbacks, but we're going to play this. But I'll tell you how I made this. I went to Connor's AI Mindset website and I copied the text of everything on the entire homepage. And then I went to Gemini and I told it to create a song based off of the data on the site. And so then it made an electronic song that sounded terrible. So I said, make it a folk pop song. We'll see if this is any better, guys. Mm-hmm. You're listening to it for the first time. Here's the song.
More than a search bar, change how you create a competitive edge that will seal your fate. It's the AI mindset and the frameworks designed for a career transformation that is truly divine.
That's pretty amazing, Connor. It's pretty good, but here's what I know about this music generator. Jaeden, the thing I know about this music generator is that it is not as good as Suno, right? And Gemini sort of like says that it's not as good, right? I think what they're saying is like this is really for like little ditties, things like that. It is not for Jaden's wife is actually a professional musician. You can find her on Spotify, Jillian Schaefer, and she does a phenomenal amount of music on Spotify. Like she's an actual musician. This isn't that, right? What this is sort of something a little. I think it's below Suno. Can we agree on that?
100%. Like maybe like 10% of Suno, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think that's right. So guys, test this out. But again, like I don't think we're breaking crazy ground here with the music generation. I do think. And Jaeden, want to kind of get your take on this with Pomelli, right? Pomelli. There's some cool things on X about this, but this is like essentially like a product photo tool, right? This is like a photo shoot. And I cannot tell you how often I see people using AI for this, right? Like you have a product. And so like, let's say I have, just whatever product I have, like, and if it's in the palm of my hand, it's like my, Connor's artisanal jelly or something like that. And I hold it up and I'm like, gosh, wouldn't it be amazing if this was in like a magical field of berries or something like that? that's what it does. If you're sort of seeing this on YouTube, you're sort of like watching this, but I really encourage you to go check it out, because it polishes it into, it transforms into this like super polished, campaign ready images, professional backgrounds, adjust the light, it works on the shadows and the texture. I don't know the words for all these things, but Jaeden, for product launches, this is amazing. I mean, it sort of like started with Midjourney back in the day, remember? But you couldn't get it perfect. And now, to me, today, we are hitting something that is actually going to transform how marketing works.
Yeah, and remember, this is a really important product for Google, because this is plugging straight into their ecosystem. I think a lot of people are like, oh, look, it's like Google Labs made like an AI like ad platform. Like, that's kind of interesting. Like, how did they come up with the concept for building this as a tool? Well, remember, this plugs straight into Google Ads, the #1 revenue source for their whole company. So if they can help you create better ads faster and more efficient, that are going to convert higher, they're making more money because they're getting more clicks on these ads. So I think this is a brilliant product, and we've seen a lot of other players actually consult a company that does AI generated ads, and they do a lot of work in that space. And so like, this is a big space. It makes a lot of money. It makes a lot of sense that Google would get into this. And like you were saying, Connor, like, looking at the ads that they have created, they really, I think, cracked it with this product. So I'm super excited about this. The music thing is kind of a fun, funny thing that I think people might play with. Like, it's, you make a song for somebody and you send it to them kind of as a joke, or, for the birthday or something. Not a serious tool for actual music making. This, on the other hand, is a serious tool for people in their work that are actually trying to apply this into something. So I think we see like a wide breadth of products being launched by Google. They kind of have this funny line, because their audience is a lot of just consumers, right? Like, everyone on the planet uses YouTube, and everyone on the planet uses Gmail. So they target the whole planet with kind of like some of these funny like music makers. But on the other hand, for people that are doing serious work, they are creating serious products. And I think sometimes people, they lose that, and they're like, oh, Gemini, like, I can't take them seriously. Like, look at this Lyria music tool they made, or other things, right? It's not serious for work. Google is a serious work company, and they have a lot of features built in. So I think that's, just remember that framing on them for sure.
I think so too, and we're gonna wrap this up. But I think that one of the critical things here too is like, I can't emphasize this enough. You guys have a window. If you discover this stuff and you can do this at your company has no idea this exists. I promise you, this is bleeding edge stuff. It does. People knew about Nano Banana. People knew about like Notebook LM podcasts, things like that. Sometimes. This is something you could be like, sure, I can do this. And you look like this mad genius that can create these things. And all it takes is going into Google Labs. And by the way, just so you know, like, Google Labs, like, just go and sort of, it looks like a little, beaker or something like that. Just go check this out, or check out, Pomelli, or, just Google it. These things it sounds like it's hard to find. It's not. Just get in there. Listen, guys, keep tracking along with Google. Like, they are absolutely bursting out of the gate this week. I think both of us just like absolutely blown away with what Google did. Incredible. And we're not even at I/O yet. This is going to be a crazy year. Listen, if you could leave a rating review, it's one of our favorite things. Thank you guys for like really coming through for us. We blasted by 150 reviews. It was amazing. You're the best. We just like appreciate it so much. And we will see you next time.